Hello, welcome to the Colourful Creativity podcast. My name is Kralalien and this is episode 164. You can find me online everywhere as Kralalien, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Ravelry, Patreon, Ko-Fi, the works everywhere. And I have a web shop, colourfulcreativity.nl, and I also have an active Binks. He was sound asleep and is now stretching and doesn't know yet what he wants. You want to show yourself? Yeah. Come here. Here is Binkser, the little worry child. He's still not doing his bestest, but he's doing better. And we're just trying to feed him massive amounts of food. See, his purr is still working. Oh yes. Oh yes. Let's start with the finished object. Because I have one, and it's also a new cast on you didn't see, I think. It's already blocked. It looks super cute. This is a cute little baby cardigan I made, and this is Tanis Fiberarts Baby Sunnyside, and you have the option for a cable, the green one, or a lace like the blue purple one, and I went with the cable one. This is for a little boy, so I thought it would be nicer to do the cables. It's really cute, and now that it's blocked it feels so soft and just too cute, too cute. The yarn I used is this. It was in my D-stash and I just took it back there. It is Fleece Artist BFL socks. This is a 80% superwash BFL and 20% nylon, so it is a superwash treated yarn. Can be washed in the washing machine, which is also nice with baby clothing. And yeah, all I have to do is put in the buttons, and I already found them. Here they are, very simple purple buttons, but I thought they would go perfectly with the fiber or the yarn, with the colors. I think it looks great. So that is the first finished object. I have one end to weave in still because I wove it in on the wrong side. It was garter stitch and I was working on the inside all the time, and apparently just that one I didn't. So I took it out before blocking, but I didn't weave it in again. I will do that now after I record it, and then I will put on the buttons, and then I will send it to the new baby. So finished object number one. Let's put this away safely so no cats will get on it. My second finished object is a spinning object. Robert was doing stuff with bobbins again, and I had to try it out. So he printed me a bobbin for my Ashford e-spinner that had ball bearings in it, and I had to test drive it, and I took out a braid of Het Wolbeest Fiber Club 2022 Doctor Who All Through Space and Time, a 100% Shetland. And here it is, all plied up. I still have to get it off, make a nice skein, give it a bath and everything, but here is the label. I already read it for you, but if you want to see for yourself. So this was an old club Fiber Club 2022. I think I got it for my birthday for myself. I think it was in February. And yeah, it was Doctor Who, so how could I not? This bobbin I printed myself. It's not perfect. It was one of the things that was online that you can just download and print, but it is a tiny bit too short for the thing you have to put it on. I don't remember how that thing is, the flyer, I think. It's just a tiny bit too short, so I printed another little of these nubbins and just put that behind it on it, and then it was fine. Because if it is too short, these the teeth of the gear won't touch, which sucks. And to be honest, now that I have bobbins with ball bearings, I think every other bobbin is super loud. The bobbin with ball bearings is so quiet because, yeah, it doesn't do the plastic on the metal, and yeah, I'm just spoiled rotten. I know. I'm just really lucky. And because I said that about that woolly winder bobbin, Robert also printed me a woolly winder bobbin with ball bearings. So let me show you. Another thing I love about his designs, he puts thread in it. That one I had to glue, but there is the ball bearing inside. It fits snugly on the flyer, and this side as well. You can see it's a prototype because of all the colors. We finished the spool of this color, so we had to hop onto the next color of filament. And yeah, so this one is for the next trial run, but first other stuff. Let me see, works in progress. Let's start with this one in my Elvenwood craft bag that I got from my lovely friend Angela of Yarn and Yarns. All the links to her podcast and everything in the show notes. In here is my plain vanilla sock for Robert. As you can see, it grew a bit. Yeah, I put in markers every 10 rounds just for ease of counting for the next sock. I did the heel turn, and now I am doing the gusset decreases. And basically what you can see from that line is what I knit last night, because I went to visit a friend, had a cup of tea, and I just had some nice knitting time. She was very interested in seeing me knit, because she was like, how do you knit in a round with, you need to have your stitches on the needle? And it was like magic. I mean, it's called magic loop for a reason, I guess. The yarn I'm using is Schoppel Zauberball Crazy. And the colorway is called Jacke wie Hose. And there you can see the striping sequence. And here is the ball. I really love how these balls look. Just, yeah. And I'm not sure if I recorded before or after we went to the cinema. We did go to the cinema, we did see Wonka, and it was wonderful. It was a bit too dark to knit, so I knit until the heel flap, and then I tried a little bit of heel flap, but it wasn't working, so I stopped. And now I am almost at zooming round and round in the foot again. It is definitely back to cinema knitting, and we hope to go to the cinema again this weekend. Saturday morning there is a soft sound screening of Argyle, and we want to try out that. Soft sound screening means that the sound is not as loud, which I really like. I didn't find Wonka loud, to be fair. I really enjoyed it. But another advantage of soft sound screening is that the light is dimmed and not off, which means it's better for me to knit. Just saying. So yeah, I am looking forward to knitting on it in the cinema again. Fingers crossed we can go. Next whip is here next to me, not in a project bag because it just doesn't fit in anymore. The project bag is full of ball of yarn and this just lies on top of it. It is my Gardengate sweater. Ta-da! That's the back. Yeah, of course, that's the back. This way around. Look at that. It has grown. Let me show you how much. I put in the Dalek marker when I last showed you, and I knit all this. So I think it's a good 5 inches. Good. Maybe a bit more. I don't have my measuring tape at hand. Sorry, but yeah, this a good 13 centimeters probably. So it is still growing. It's slow, but it's going. This is what I'm knitting on when I don't know what to knit and I just want to knit mindless stockinette. In a round, zoom, zoom, zoom around. The yarn I'm using is Rowan Valley Tweed. I have some balls here. I do not have all the ball bands anymore. Here is one of them. This Rowan Valley Tweed. Yellow hammer, probably that one. Beadle, I think, is the main color. And then there was some turquoise as well, but I don't have the name of that. The pattern is by Jenn Steingass. Let me find the front page. It is Gardengate. I fell in love with it right from the start and I've been wanting to knit it ever since. I'm finally doing it. And this is one of my 12 cast-ons from last year. 12 cast-ons is a make-along hosted by the lovely Angela. And yeah. The yarn is also from her, from Yarn and Yarns. So I thought it was very fitting to do that for that make-along and to hopefully finish this year. Probably by the time it gets too warm to wear a sweater, but oh well. See, it does fit in if I push hard enough. Then let me show you my embroidery progress, which is in a Fleece project bag that came with my backpack. I did some, not a lot, but I have some fair progress. And this top corner is almost done. And I'm touching borders now, which is nice. And yeah, this is the Misfit pattern by Heritage Crafts. This is how it's supposed to look in the end. So I have some ways to go. But it is fun and it is relaxing. It's just that I wanted to finish that baby cardigan, so that got a bit more priority than my embroidery. So no 15 minutes a day, but I did work on it every week. Another work in progress. Does not have a project bag yet, so I have to be careful how I get it. It's a mess, I know. Let me see. Ball bands, yes, and then pattern. Sock Madness has begun again. The sign-ups were from February 1st to February 14th, And yeah, I always sign up at the first possible day. When I see you can sign up now, I just go for it. The pattern dropped the 16th around noon, so 5 days ago. Hydra socks, Hydra scales socks by Wyvern knits. Basically, it's called an intarsia cable. So that red cable is done with yarn in the same spot that doesn't move around. So it's not color work. And yeah, I'm not sure if I really like it, but hey, it's Sock Madness, so I'm knitting it. Here you go. This is what I have now. And here you can see those extra threads. It's the yarn for the cables, and it just stays there. You knit it in place and then you continue the rest. I'm not sure if I'm doing it right on the inside. I've been looking at it and I was like, okay, either I go under or I go over the extra yarn, and I don't really see a big difference, so whatever. Nobody cares to tell me what to do when I asked, so apparently it doesn't matter as long as you don't twist it. This is the yarn I'm using. This is Lang Jawoll Twin, and it is a rainbow gradient, which I thought would be very fun for this pattern. And I'm combining it with this yarn, which is Knit CA Socks. I have no clue. It was in my stash. I got it from someone, probably in a swap. It is a superwash merino wool, and it feels a tiny bit heavier weight, but it still says 200 meters. So, and this one is, how many meters? How many meters? Tell me. 50 gram, 210. So it is a tiny bit thinner than the other one, but it really doesn't show. I can just feel it when knitting, but it's fine. And this yarn I'm using, the green one, is my Colourful Smooth Sock in Spring Explosion, but you only need a few strands. I make these tiny little butterflies already for the rest of the sock, because this will probably not be enough for the leg and the foot, but we'll see how far we get. Let's see, this is how the yarn looks like when you don't cake it up, but I had a struggle with it at the start. I am knitting the largest size, and that's 80 stitches. It's a lot, but 2 years ago I knit a similar kind of sock, not with the intarsia cable, but with this cable pattern on top of striping or helical knitted design. I was going in so much, even though I was knitting a larger size with 70 stitches, I couldn't even fit in. So I was like, okay, I'll take the biggest size, and if they don't fit me, Robert can have them. So worst case scenario, Robert will get socks that have pink in them. I don't think he'll mind. The pink will be in his shoe. I mean, this is all very nice green and tealish, so it will be fine. Knitting these on 2.5mm needles, my go-to, and we'll see how far we get. If I become a cheerleader because I only have one sock finished, totally fine with that. Somehow this pattern and I are not friends yet, and the whole competition is not something that I need in my life at the moment. I'd rather focus on the baby knits. Next work in progress is spinning again, because like I said, Robert printed me a prototype of the woolly winder bobbin, and since I usually only ply on my woolly winder, I have to spin something ready to ply. Here is one of the ball bearing bobbins. They are great. I really love them. I have 3 of them now. I was even okay with plying on this bobbin instead of on a woolly winder if it didn't have any ball bearings, because it's so much quieter. You can actually hear the TV without making it a lot louder, and yeah, turning up the volume. This fiber is Schaap and Draak. Let me show you like this. And the color is herfstkleuren, so autumn colors. And I got this at the Knit and Knot, I think, last year. This is BFL, 100% BFL. Really lovely. It is non-superwash, because it's also good for felting, but it spins up really thin and it's amazing. I mean, I really love it, and I'm planning to do a 3-ply with it. Can I show you how thin it is? Will this show? Hopefully you can see it. So yeah, that is really awesome. Let's put that there. Those were all my works in progress. So next up is acquisitions. And the yarn I already told you about, I think, has arrived. And here it is. Ta-da. 2 nice gobstopper balls. This is by Daniela's Wolltopf. There you go. The colorway is called Bahamas, and this is a 80% high twist merino with polyamide. Basically my soft sock. So I knew this was going to be nice and soft for a baby. These are going to be for my cousin, both of them. And I'm going to knit a pattern by Stephanie Lotfen from her book for self-striping yarn. And there's a really cute baby cardigan in it. I am going to knit a small size in Bahamas and a bigger size in this one, as big as I can get for 400 meters. So this one's also from her. Look at that. Gray with neon is just the best. And this is Big Bang Intense. So there's also purple in there, and yeah, I really love it. So looking forward to see how this knits up, but I'll knit the other one first because that's going to be the smaller size and I'm going to ship that earlier. So those were the only 2 acquisitions I have. I am still trying to limit myself and use my stash. I'm not saying I cannot buy anything. I'm just trying to be really mindful because I just have so much yarn, and sometimes it's a bit overwhelming, and most of the times it's just really nice to open a drawer or a box and get out some yarn and start using it. So I bought it with a reason. To be in my collection, definitely, but also to make something pretty with it. And that's what I'm trying to do this year. Yeah, that was all works in progress, acquisitions, finished object, shop news. Okay, let's see. There are a few rainbow boxes left. I have shipped the first pre-order round, and most, not most. Is it most? Oh yeah, most have arrived already. I think there's still 3 or 4 underway, but they have to travel farther, like to the US, or have to go through customs. But yeah, everyone who has reacted was very happy with it. It is really in your face rainbow, and I am absolutely in love with that colorway. I am thinking of bringing it back in due time for a regular colorway, but not now. Now it is just for the box. The yak sock has been launched. What else? Not much else for the shop. No. Probably going to not ship for a week next week, or so when we start with all these scans again for Robert. And this is where we go into the personal update. So if you're not interested, I hope to see you again next time. Absolutely no worries if you're not interested in that part. Bye bye. If you're staying, thank you very much. Yeah, next round of scans is up. Next week we have blood test, PET scan and MRI. And then the week after is results of all of that. And there's also psych consults for both of us in between there. And yeah, lots and lots and lots of hospital appointments, which is okay if we can keep it condensed to a week and a half, just not 3 weeks. But that is okay now. I went to see my gynecologist. I got my second implant. I'm not sure yet how I feel about it, but that takes time. And I just had a lot of pain. I probably had gallstones. I have to do an ultrasound today after we get the results from Robert. So more appointments in those 2 weeks. But for now, it seems like it has passed. So hopefully I won't have to experience that again. I did not have a real colic pain, but it was really painful. I also got a migraine on top of everything, so it hasn't been the best time. That is also why this podcast has been late for my Patreons. I'm really sorry I had to postpone the knit and chat. I just was looking like a zombie like this. I was really happy I was able to breathe and maybe take a sip of water. I had 2 cats on my lap for the whole weekend. They didn't want to leave me alone. So I guess they felt that I needed it. But I'm here again. I feel better now. Robert is off to work today, which means I have time and space to do this. I don't have to worry about him coming down or anything, which is nice. Anything else? Not really. We're just anxious about the next round of scans and results, and we will see if everything is okay after. Then we'll see what we'll do. I will probably launch the next box that I have planned. It's gonna be a spring edition box with some really nice bee and flower themed things. Big spoiler here already. And yeah, I guess that's it for now. Next week I'll also have my birthday. Robert has his PET scan on my birthday, so yay. They planned it a day later, but it wasn't handy a day later because then we couldn't do anything on the birthday itself because you cannot move the day before the PET scan, which was something we would like to do. We would like to go to the city center by bike, maybe have a drink somewhere. So yeah, it was just one phone call and they could rearrange things, and he now has it stupid o'clock on my birthday, which is fine because he always goes stupid o'clock, and then at 9:30 he's done and he'll have the rest of the day to recover and do fun stuff. So looking forward to probably having breakfast in the city center after his scan. He has to be sober, so he'll be hungry once he gets out. And I'm trying to find a place where I can have some breakfast as well. So that is a plan. And for the rest, no clue. It all depends on the scans and the results, what's gonna happen. So basically every 3 months there's something new they tell us. So maybe even more chances, maybe even new meds, and we'll see. I don't know. I hope you keep us in your thoughts and keep your fingers crossed. And if the next podcast is later or not appearing, you probably know what's happening. If it is later, it's probably just it's not definitely bad news. It can also be that I was too busy being in the hospital and didn't have the energy to put up a new podcast. So maybe give me a week extra and we will see. Yeah, I'm just rambling now, so I'm gonna say goodbye and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.